Theme song.
2.0.
Ting. Hello and welcome to May, the month of fucking. But it's social distancing, so social distancing fucking. I am Aaron, your host. With me is a Lindbergh, Gaby. How you doing, Gabe? We lost Gabe.
Can you not hear?
Yeah, it's cut out.
Motherfucker.
Now you're back.
Oh, I'm back now. Fucking God, fucking damn it, man. Like, you know, fucking, I don't ask for fucking much in this goddamn world. I really don't. You know what? That's probably my fucking problem. Like, I'm sitting here lower in the bar thinking, all right, there we go. You know,
He's gone again.
look at this.
And he's
Fuck
back.
me.
And he's bouncing and out. Just restart Discord. Bear with us, folks. The power of social distancing and the internet. So we are in May. We have a little content update for you.
So, am I audible?
Yes, there you are, sir.
Fucking God, fucking damn it. Like, honestly, you know, because, like, you know what I fucking hate? You know what I really goddamn hate? Like, there is a big difference between me when I'm alone by myself and me when I've got, like, the fucking human interaction part of me on.
Yeah.
You know? And, like, the fucking former doesn't really care for the latter, you know? It's more of a dumb fucking clown because it's the only positive reinforcement I ever got growing up. And there is nothing I hate more than doing that bullshit at all and it being just for myself. You know, like sitting here talking like a fucking idiot and then hearing you go, hello, are you there? I just want to fucking kill something. Like, no, nothing fucking else makes me fucking angrier than that. Because it's just like, I've been sitting here just like acting like a fuck knuckle, which is fine if at the other end of it, I can at least pretend there's some even deeper, greater fuck knuckle sitting there and enjoying it. But then just to find that it's been for the fucking birds and my Transformer figures is like, I'm not a man that feels a lot of forms of shame, but that's a real deep, penetrating level of shame for me.
I see. That's our brain couch for the day. Think about it.
And I need a light that tells me when we're actually fucking connected and running, because it says live there, but oh, it lies.
So we have a content map for you. Like a game developer, except we've already recorded these, so we can't
fuck up. We'll just delay it indefinitely. Something COVID-19. It's fine.
Microsoft/Xbox sent us a code for Gears Tactics. It was fun. We enjoyed that. Wario 2, we finished off. Starting Wario 3 today. Hopefully we'll be better than Wario 2. Now, I actually found it quite surprising. In the comments, lots of you love Wario 2. And I assume it's because you played it when you were younger. But why?
Yeah, like it's not... I think it's a game that hasn't aged well. I mean, like, for its era...
time, it would have been fucking great.
Things like all the different animations and different forms you can take would have been a fairly big deal back then. But, you know, again, sitting here playing it now, when the game's puzzle system is built around just obstructing you, that starts annoying and has to work its way up from that. It's not to say it can't be fun eventually or, you know, get fun. But the thing is, a lot of other things have to be working quite well in order for the annoying part to not dominate. You know, it's like putting chili in chocolate. You couldn't do that. I've had chili chocolate like fucking things. But there's a difference between someone using a recipe that understands that chili is going to be in there and how to like structure the fucking chocolate around that and just chucking a pile of, you know, fucking chili powder into your goddamn icing. Like, one of them's a fucking mistake. And, you know, the thing about that Wario 2 game is just all the little things that are slightly annoying are now just teaming up with the fucking primary game mechanic, which is also annoying. And then the whole thing is just like, well, the graphics aren't as good as the fucking first one. The gameplay is not as good as the first one. I mean, the first one had the map, which gave a better sense of like space, and also it teased the idea of the other places. You know, that was the thing. Like, you had this, oh, wow, what's out there sort of thought. Whereas, like, you know, that second one, the whole thing is just faintly fucking frustrating game mechanics teamed with an inability to really get a sense of what's going on. And like, granted, we started out cheating our way to the final stage, which I'll admit isn't a good way of getting a fucking, bearing on the game. But then we went back. And again,
it didn't feel any different, to be honest.
No, it wasn't an issue of simply starting at the fucking end and, not understanding anything. The basics of the game.
The game's easy to grasp. Like, it wasn't hard by any stretch. And I remember liking that when I was younger too. So, yeah.
Like again, there's lots of games that, for their era are fucking fantastic, but I wouldn't fucking go within 2 feet of now. Like, the amount of time I sunk into fucking, 007 on the fucking 64. Yeah. Oh, yeah. No, I don't want to play a god awful fucking FPS at like 25
you
frames.
Want Migraine Simulator? Come on.
Yeah. Like it's good ideas, great for their time, but just in the cold light of modernity, not as mechanically fucking fun.
I'm interested to play number 3, but I'm really, really hyped to get to number 4 because that was the GBA one, and I think that one was fucking great. So I want to see if my memory holds up because my memory is fucked. So I've got some news this week. I talked to my mother. And it appears they are saying she has fibromyalgia.
Which one's that?
That is the chronic pain autoimmune disease.
All right.
That might not be what she has, but with all the symptoms and the testing over the years, that's the sort of short-stop conclusion.
Because there's like a few things like that, aren't there, where it's just like, you'll just be in mystery pain sometimes, and there's just no obvious fucking problem, and then so they just gotta bounce around and then eventually go, all right, like it's like this or lupus.
Pretty much. So she's always got really bad headaches and migraines, but they got to the point where they're debilitating. Her nerves are being affected. She's getting like hot pains in her foot and stuff, and it's just. The problem is it's an autoimmune disease, and they're 8 times as likely to be hereditary. And with all the symptoms I've had through my life, it's likely I have something similar. So,
do they have? Is there like a? Well, I mean, if they know it's fibromyalgia, can they treat it better? Like, is it not like, oh yeah, we'll just chuck this at it and hope for the best? Well, I mean, that's at least fucking something. Like,
as far as we know. Because,
I suppose.
Obviously, still early. She's like only started beginning. She's only just seen a pain specialist. So it's a work, and with COVID and stuff, it's more of a process than ever. Yeah. Well,
like from a fucking, some of my brain pills that aren't just like straight up meth. I had like a liver test to make sure my liver wasn't fucked. Because like there's like a fucking 0.5% chance they tamper with your liver. Then it was just like, I don't want to go to the place that tests blood right now. Yeah. And they're like, you'll be, unless you pee blood or something, you'll be fine. And so far it's good. I've only peed the usual amount of blood, so it's fantastic. Yeah,
healthy blood.
Well, I just like kicking myself in the bladder a lot. It's just it's a hobby.
I mean, who doesn't?
Yeah.
If you're not kicking your own bladder, are you even alive?
It helps me get those last little drops out.
Never forget the time punch me fucking square in the bladder. Holy shit. I've only ever been punched in the bladder once in my life, and that was it. That sucked. Sucked ring. I was in a full one-piece Batman costume. I couldn't get out.
I didn't just do it because punching humans in the bladder is funny, even though
it's because I've been whining about it all night.
Yeah. There's other details to that particular story. Yeah, but you in the one-piece fucking Batman outfit going, I need to pee. And like, so for like, I'm at work. So for a big chunk of work, I'm just hearing Aaron complaining about having to pee. And it's like, there's probably a resolution to this fucking issue.
The problem was there was like 60 people inside and I couldn't get to the toilet. Let alone undo the costume with that many people in the fucking cubicle. Because I walk in, there's 5 people in a 1-by-1 space. And I'm like, can you be NPCs and fuck off?
Yeah,
I
well,
want to be the
that,
PC.
because by the end of it, you were making me have to pee. I was just like, I don't want to hear this fucking urine talk anymore. I want you to fucking, I'm fixing this problem the only way I know how. Targeted knuckles.
That's when I learnt of urination therapy.
Yeah. Drink the punch wee. Punch wees, Aaron.
Vape it. Don't forget to vape it.
Do you want some punch wee juice? What's that, Funk?
I wonder if I could start a company like Gwyneth Paltrow, like Goop, but just of like vaping urine.
Oh yeah, 100% you could. No, absolutely you could. You have no idea the fucking alcoves.
Catchy name.
Okay, VP. I don't know. Like, I feel like we don't want to emphasize the urine element. We don't want to hide from it, but at the same time, I think just calling it. That's actually really good. That is actually really fucking good. Because I was thinking too literally. Like, I was thinking, okay, what's an actual word? Your brain just skipped all that and went straight to like the marketing element. Was like, what's something that nobody's got copyrighted? Veen. Yeah.
It's like
I'm on
it's
Veen.
fucking stupid.
Like, and we'll just lie. Like, we'll just say we have artisanal lady urine or some shit, Just like, we'll mention their ethnicity to get the weird racists in. Just do nothing but half Scandinavian lady piss gas. And sure, it'll probably cure your fucking, it might cure your cancer. It might. Like, I can't say for certain one way or the other because I don't want to get like sued when you die of cancer inhaling my piss gas. I'm Scandinavian-ish. It's fine. It's close enough. Like the fucking difference. You're just huffing piss gas.
We'll call you Gerudo and call it a day.
Yeah. I put the dude in Gerudo. But like,
I was fucking to think of Gerudo because my mind just went from Ganondorf straight to Tony Abbott because of the ears. I was watching The Simpsons and I watched the Australia episode and the dude who comes out with a boot on looks like fucking Tony Abbott.
He does a little, yeah.
And it's concerning. I don't like it. Now Tony Abbott's in my dreams trying to boot me. Just got rid of him too. Now he's back like Phantom Abbott.
Oh yeah, no, he's kind of attached to like the Peter Dutton wing of the party, which is the eviler right wing component. Yeah, I mean, if you don't know who Tony Abbott is, just Google Tony Abbott Onion and just know that this man was in charge of Australia for a while and in charge of Australia while he did that. Like there was a point in Australia's collective day where we had to like just look at the news and see that. And that was fun. I mean, honestly, in some ways, it was a little bit better than the time he just answered a question by standing silently in a brutally,
just
brutally
Google Tony Abbott
silence.
buffering, and you'll find that one.
None of that's been falsely edited either. It's
amazing.
He got asked a question
live on fucking the news. He said nothing. He buffered. His brain buffered.
And bear in mind, if Australian politicians are good at anything, it's filling space with words that go nowhere and mean nothing because most of them have legitimately no shame.
Yeah.
To actually just stand there silently is unheard of.
And after about minute and a half, the guy goes, Tony, we need a response. And he goes, I'm giving you the response you deserve. And it's like, what?
I hate this place.
Yeah, it's just he stumbles over his words to even say that. He's just his brain's broke. Oh, he went to sleep.
Fucking cunt.
Hey,
what did you do?
Oh, it's just the screen went to sleep.
All right. I thought the recorder died again. It is every what's going on style sound is just it's me going off.
So yeah, this is our weekly video update where we fill you in, let you know what's going on. Did you hear about the Naughty Dog leak?
I heard about it, yeah.
So for those unaware, the whole plot of Last of Us 2 was leaked by alleged disgruntled Naughty Dog employee. Not just the plot, though, but actual videos and dev menus of the finished product. And people are pissed People who have indulged on the spoilers do not want to get the game anymore because of the outcome of these spoilers. I myself went looking and found video. I watched a small section to confirm it was legit. And yeah,
what happens?
I'm not going to say
Warning.
No, because like again, I
want to know because I want to know whether the fucking because again, like I feel
I'll
like
tell
there's
you
elements.
after this.
Well, this is. I feel like the internet's reaction to a lot of shit always rings to me as stupid and overblown.
Hmm.
And I don't have any real reason to feel that this is going to be much different.
I don't really have any strong sense either way after hearing it. I don't know. I'll talk to you about it off thing.
I'll just talk to it now.
Okay. So mega spoilers for Last of Us 2. Basically,
probably put like a time stamp
ending.
in the video as well so you can click for when it's gone.
Yeah. So we're starting this talk at 16 minutes.
All right. Well, I mean, you'll have to put like little timestamps in the video. I don't think.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. 16 minutes.
All right. Okay. Cool.
I can keep track of it.
All right.
So what I read was in The Last of Us 2, it's about a crazy sort of Christian or Catholic, I can't remember what religion, but it's a cult,
They're all the same.
basically anti LGBT sort of thing. And a lot of the game explores Joel's past and you playing as Ellie and stuff. But the big switch comes about 3 parts through, where the enemy this whole time kills Joel. Brutally. Like very fucking brutally in front of
Is
Ellie.
this to do with like, does that connect to the prior game in some way or is it just like a random event?
Yes.
Okay. Well, all right. So it's probably got something to do with it's got something to do with the Fireflies or something, doesn't it? Like he'll have killed someone that he killed. Well, no, but I mean, like, you know, didn't he?
Yeah,
who did he kill
sort of.
Because didn't he shoot that woman like at the end of the fucking?
You remember at the end of the last game, the doctor?
Yeah.
Who blocks the way?
Yeah.
You have to kill him.
Yeah.
So the chick that kills Joel is his daughter.
Fair enough.
And her whole shtick is that, you know, just all men are evil, blah, blah, blah. That shit. And then you, immediately after she brutally murders him, you play as her for the rest of the game.
All right.
So that's why people are pissed. I mean, I don't really have any major attachment.
What are they fucking pissed about?
There's a lot of context, I think, that they're missing. Like, yeah, you've seen the cutscenes, you know the plot, but you haven't heard the talk, the small bits, the atmosphere that lay the game.
Yeah, well, again, the game frequently fills huge amounts of itself with, you know, stray conversation between the two main characters that flesh out, you know, the things that are going on. I don't know. So Joel dies. Yeah. Of course, like, what are you know, like, it's one of those things where I yell about this in the fucking thing in the Simpsons articles a bit. Well, I don't yell at it, but I try to explain it. You don't like reality. That's why we have fiction. Fiction is a nice place where deaths are set up and things have interesting poetic meaning and stuff like that. You know what happens in real life? Fucking generals die of colds before they get to the battlefield. Like, stupid, annoying, dumb shit happens in real life. So you don't get to go on about the fun of the realism of something. And this happened with Game of Thrones a fair bit too. You don't get to go on about the fun of the grittiness or the realism of some kind of, you know, game. And then, you know, and I mean, that isn't like, because this isn't even a good example. It's not, again, like, Joel could have just got a shot. This is a poetic fucking payback for what he did in the last game, which twists what you did as the sort of, you know, avatar of the protagonist. And really, like, you know, that was kind of the thing I liked about the prior game was I didn't agree with what Joel did. You know? So if something he's done has set off, basically somebody else as a protagonist in their own story, of which he's the fucking evil bad guy. He pretty much is. Joel wasn't the good guy just because I was fucking steering him,
Yeah. Look at the screen.
I'm looking at her. What am I supposed to be saying?
On the stream?
Oh, okay. No, I clicked on stream on your thing, and instead of taking it to the stream, it took me to this other thing. So I had to click on a second window within that other thing in order to... Yeah, it's fantastic. I like that. I feel like we need to make a little more use of Danny DeVito at the moment.
Well, Hercules was just announced as a live-action remake. I don't know why.
They're just... Well, because...
I'm upset. I know why. I know. But it's just... I'm still upset. It's one of my favorites, and I don't want... So I'm going to watch it. I'm going to have to. I'm going to get curious. So I'm more upset at myself more than anything.
I mean, again, like... if they pulled like a Lucas and hid all the animated versions of Hercules, like if they took animated Hercules off the fucking Disney Plus or whatever, I was just like, no, you're going to learn to love live action Hercules.
Yeah.
Then I can understand being upset. Like, because that was the reason why people were angry at fucking Lucas, was we were getting these 4K updates for fucking the special editions, but none for just the original cinematic releases.
Yeah.
And that's him going, no, you're not allowed to have the thing you like. And I was like, well, that's dickish. And then some, I don't know, what was it? Like the 4K fucking thing done by like some Czech dude doing it himself.
Oh, yeah, the
across
Star
like
Wars
40
things.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's one dude who's doing like 4K and is even considering like 8K in the future and shit. Crazy.
Yeah, it's like frame by frame manual updating, like
it's
the fucking
nuts, like color correction, all this shit.
Yeah.
It's
like, don't get me
amazing.
wrong, they're really good. Like if you want to watch classic fucking, and really, I do think actual Star Wars, because beyond simply the plot variations and the little bits and pieces and changes, is because I rewatched A New Hope that he'd done, like the 4K update of A New Hope, and the special effects are actually remarkably good. They don't, and again, when you're thinking about the era in which it's made, to reissue it with CG kind of tramples on a lot of really good work that people did back then. And I think it's really good work.
Dude. It looks good.
No, it does. It really does. Like,
it's fucking fantastic.
I mean, yeah. Like there are things like stop motion, I think stands out a bit, like to the point where I just think, you're better off using CG to stop motion. Like, I mean,
there's a mix and match you choose. And it's just odd that they've chosen to take a few parts away that really enforce the aesthetic and charm. Yeah,
well, I mean, again, getting back to the fucking Hercules thing, it's like, it'll probably be bad. Like, because, I don't think anybody really liked the fucking, Lion King one. I don't think people hated it, but again, it's just...
I haven't seen it.
These things are really quite easy to ignore. Because you know what? I didn't go see at the cinema or pay attention to it all. The live action Lion King.
Exactly. Like it doesn't. The whole point is it doesn't delete the original medium, and it's still there. As I said, the reason I got upset is because I know I'll eventually watch it and then get sad.
I mean, we might be lucky. We might get Danny DeVito as the little fucking dude.
Dude, if that is, I'm in 100%. If they made it frame by frame, but in live action with the animated style. They should do that. Just as a test.
Him,
fuck it.
Just him clearly in orange spandex. Like it's not even like they haven't even really, gone to any extra trouble beyond that. Like
fucking they just painted. Now I've just got a Danny DeVito painted orange fucking for the Lorax in my head. Just nude. Just nude Danny DeVito. Painted fucking orange. I'm the Lorax.
Wasn't he actually the Lorax?
This is my peen. Yeah, he was.
Yeah.
That's why the fucking photo of him that I posted on Twitter.
Yeah, no, destroy anime. No, I loved that.
That's why he was in the photo with the Lorax, yeah. So thank you, Lorax movie. Giving me my one viral tweet. Oh, no. Actually, it was that Wario one. The one fucking when Mario Odyssey was coming out. and it was Mario in New York City with a phone, and it was Wario on as GTA going, "Hey, Mario, my cousin, want to come see big American titties?" That one went fucking
big
viral.
American titties. It's one thing I love about the way foreign languages filter into English, and it's true of the reverse, but I'm just less familiar with it, is the way they'll maintain elements of their consonant and vowel stressing that just kind of don't they just ring a little false in English. Yeah. Like, because you don't see titties. Hey, you don't extend. Nobody does that.
No.
Like, because teats are what run an animal. No one's going, let's go to a strip club and check out some teats. It's like, what the fuck kind of club do you want to go to? Like, I don't want to go to your fucking farm. Like, so just, and then, because nobody, says teeties. Like, no one describes a cow's teats like teeties. So you got this weird strip club barnyard fucking fusion going, and they don't know. That's the best part. They're just saying, their version of titties probably starts on the front and ends, shorter than ours does, So it's just a little bit like that. There's just a little bit in the translation hasn't come across perfectly. And so now we've got titties. It fucking kills me just to think about it. I love it.
It is great. Speaking of words like that, in the Animal Crossing community, it bowled me over. But there's a resource, basically turnips. There's a lady that comes every Sunday and sells turnips. Mm. They last 7 days before they spoil, and they're basically your sort of lottery system and a sort of stock system. So the general store every day will have a different price.
This thing's turning into a fucking Bitcoin faster than I thought it would. Like, because I literally only, see this thing, on Twitter. Like, that's my interaction with this fucking thing. And it's just, getting the idea of it through that is just such a fascinating experience.
Mm. Yes, the turnips have different prices at the general store every day. So it's a gamble. So if you could get like, these are selling for like 100 bells, which is the currency per turnip. That's pretty good. But like tomorrow it could be 200, it's a gamble. But at the end of the week, they spoil, which means you get nothing out of them. Right. So it's like a gamble.
So it's like if fucking Bitcoin went off.
For these, Gabe, is nips.
And,
like, to me, that's just hilarious for two reasons. A, nipples, obviously. B, slur against the Japanese.
Forgot about that.
It's just twofold. It's like, how much are your nips selling for? And I'm just like,
nips. Bring out your nips.
Yeah.
Bring out your nips. That's fantastic. The whole of this was worth it just for that.
Yeah, I was pretty tickled too. Good.
Like, I am delighted by that. I love it to pieces. Nips. Because there's not a lot of good ways to shorten turnip.
No.
Turns just doesn't work. And, it's a bit long. The urns is kind of a rough fucking sound. I mean, turds is about the closest you'd get to something actually short, but no one's going to call it that either. And really, I mean, hey, how much of your turds is probably worse than how much
campaigning for it in the back. Oh,
can we just call them turds? No, we're not fucking calling them turds.
Every time with the poop, Joey.
Yeah, don't be disgusting. We're calling them nips. Fucking Jesus.
Oh, Lordy.
It is because it's such an odd little game. I can't figure it out. Because it just seems to be like so many other games, but with all the actual meaning stripped out.
Mm.
So it's just like this bizarre thing you engage in. And I feel like they're getting data from it that's just horrifying. I feel like at this point, Nintendo could probably perfectly craft your ideal living hell just from things you've said and done in Animal Crossing.
So the basic premise of the game is when you move in, it's like, hey, look at this island. Here's your shit. You want to keep upgrading your shit? Keep making money. How do you make money? Well, make the island better by, organizing it, taking fruit, planting shit, making stuff look good, then selling stuff. And as you eventually reach the goal of upgrading your house to the fullest, you unlock things like terraforming, so you can change the look of your island, make like ponds and stuff. You can put bridges down. And it's just, as villagers move in, they interact with you as well. So it kind of depends what sort of player you are. So as you lock in higher and higher, it gives you more flexibility to basically mirror yourself in the island you want to see.
Right.
But it's kind of addicting in the point of the villagers because of the way they interact with you. If you talk with them every day, they get more excited to see you. They'll give you gifts. You can give them gifts back. You can send them letters. They'll interact with you.
Is there any benefit at all to just stonewalling them?
You can kick them off the island, yes.
No, I mean like just never talking to them.
Yeah, they'll get disgruntled with you.
Okay.
Like they start getting frustrated and stuff, and then eventually they'll leave the island. That's when other people can come in and talk to them.
Do the other people who come in, are they jerks? Like, can you have an island of the jerks?
If you want, yeah.
So that's almost interesting. But I mean, the problem with, again, this game's not designed for me, because what you're describing there is just life, and life blows. I don't want just this stupid, unending fucking task. I want a thing that has an end, and I go, what's that? Oh, I want to get there. And then you get there and you go, excellent, entertainment complete. And then you just switch off for the evening.
Yeah, so it's sort of like, it's whimsical life, where things are good and you get rewarded for doing the most basic of chores. And it's that nice chill reflection. It's got good music. It's got good aesthetic, and it's just relaxing to play, honestly. Even doing like chores in the game just feels relaxing. It's hard to explain, but
I have real chores. I think it's kind of like my thing. Like,
The big thing for me, I've stopped playing it now. They took out a lot of content from previous titles that would have kept me playing.
Isn't that just like Nintendo in a nutshell at the moment?
Yeah, sadly. So in the older Animal Crossing games, they had many different sets of items. You could get Nintendo sets. Like you could get like a F-Zero bed or, the Master Sword as an item. Stuff like that.
That's kind of cool.
Cool stuff. None of that's to be seen. And just a lot of the stuff's gone. They're introducing a lot in DLC, to be fair, and it's all free. So they're working hard on the game, and I appreciate that. But for me, a lot of that's missing still. It's still getting added back, I'm hoping, and it looks like they are. And I hope they add the Nintendo stuff back in. The really coolest thing was on the GameCube version and the 64 version, you could get a NES in the game, and you could play
it?
NES games. Yes.
That's all right. No, look, that's a roundabout way of having fun for me, but like, that's a lot of value, I think, to to a game like that. Like, I mean, I don't know. Again, like, I have to switch off so many parts of my brain.
I want that.
Well, that's a problem. Is like, what you're supposed to do with like follow-ups is stand. Like, that's the thing, is you're supposed to stand on the shoulders of giants. You're not meant to take the shoes of giants and then dig a hole and then stand in the hole and be shorter than it. Otherwise, what's the point of giants? What's the point of having good ideas if you just go back to the drawing board every fucking time? Like, Japan would have never invented the fucking spear if, like, they had Nintendo's attitude toward things. It's like, it's okay to take what you just did.
Traditionalist
I really feel like it's more Nintendo than anything else.
Good away every time. It's not just Nintendo, dude. Like, ask any person who's a big fan of like Japanese game studios.
Who's a big fan of the Japs. Just a big fan of Japanese people in general.
Yeah. That every iteration throws away just perfectly good ideas and systems. Like, I had this discussion with Runch about Monster Hunter, and he's like, no, just every Japanese company does this. The fan base goes nuts for it. He's like, none of it makes sense. It's such a bizarre concept. Anyway, that is your update for the week. Unlike Japan.
What did we update them on? So what's okay? So the rest of that's up on the screen. That's nice. Okay, so we got Gears of War. You can be gear queers again. Wario Land 2, and we're doing Wario Land 3 today.
So just before we end, I'm going to add a bit. I played Gears a bit further, Gabe, and I found every single person that's not a hero unit, so not main characters, you can customize their looks and their names.
Ah, sweet. So you can call them like Billy Bob Nutjuice and...
Exactly. I had a black dude and a black chick. They were both heavy machine gunners. They both have blonde platinum mullets, handlebar mustaches, lip rings, wearing tank tops.
They're Hulk Hogan's brothers. That's what that couple are.
They've given me too much power, Gabe.
Yeah, I mean, you know, what was I playing? I was playing something. Nino Kuni, that's it. Because I was looking for something JRPG-ish, you know, something I can fucking eat a bunch of time. Yeah. I started playing the second one, and like within 5 minutes, I was like the president of America who'd been nuked into a cartoon dimension. And I was just like, you know what? This is just a bit too far down the anime hole. I just want to be a little boy whose mum died and is sad, and then a fucking fairy helps him. That I can fucking tolerate. I can't deal with this American president. I don't want to play the American president in a fucking bizarre fantasy world like this. That's too fucking meta stupid for me. And it's like, there's a point. Yeah, I'm sure there is. I don't care. It's an alienating level of fucking idea for me to want to engage with. So I went back to the first one just because, you know, a thing. And the thing is, like, you know, I've gotten so used to playing these things, you know, again, when you're around or when we're doing it for a record. So my natural instinct is just to call all the little, because you get these little goblins that you do the melee combat for you. And like, you know, the first thing I was going to call is, oh yeah, hello, here's shit lips. And then it's just like, no, wait, I'm playing this by myself and I'm trying to actually enjoy it. Let's just give them real goddamn names. Because I wound up doing that with like fucking, you know, XCOM was like, you know, Guile, I think, was about as stupid as the names got. Because it's just like, I have to look at these people constantly. And you know what's not going to be fun the 500th time around? Fucking, you know, Betty Dick Whiskers. Like, it's just not going to fucking, you know, sell. It's fine when we're doing a record, but, you know, Lordy, it's just dumb when you, like, you know, it's like drawing the word poo on your own forehead by yourself. It's like, this isn't funny. No, nothing's happening here.
I'll have you know, drawing poo on anyone's forehead is funny.
Yeah, you know, there's lots of situations where it's funny. It's not funny if it's just by yourself. Like, you just get drunk and pass out, and then you wake up. It's like, oh yeah, I wrote poo on my forehead again. I mean, I don't know. If you actually did that when you were asleep or something like that, you know, that'd be kind of interesting.
Sleep, like
your Tyler Durden is just like, instead of this super motivated dude cult, just sucks. Like, he's just this retarded jock. Like, you pass out and then it's just like, hey bro, check it out. And it's like, oh, you wrote dicks on my head again, didn't you? You know, that's our head, right? What are you talking about, faggot? Oh, Jesus. I just imagine your Tyler Durden is just dumber than you by so much. You know, he's not like cool. People don't listen to him. You like fucking come to at anti-vax rallies and shit.
I wonder if I can make you yellow.
What are you doing to me?
Photoshopping.
It's a marsupial salami. Yeah, why does he have thousands of kids?
This is because he fucks. Obviously.
Excellent answer. Like, because Bugs Bunny was obviously transgender, so it's nice to have a fucking cartoon character for us who just fucks. Like, that's a nice treat. You know, good old fashioned heterosexual fucking. Because the most sexual content in Warner Brothers cartoons was literally trap porn in the forms of Bugs Bunny dressing up as a lady and making out with Elmer Fudd, which he did frequently. Yeah.
God damn it.
It was a big kiss, too. Like, that shit wasn't like a gentle little peck on the fucking cheek. It was like, you know, he got in there. Got in there good. I mean, really, he was sexually assaulting Elmer Fudd.
I'm just imagining fucking, you know what? The dude who did the Dean in Community should redo all of Bugs' lines. I can imagine in his voice perfectly.
That is Oscar winner Jim Rash.
That's it. What did he win an Oscar for?
Screenwriting. Like he won. I can't remember what it was, but hang on. I'll look it up. I'm curious now. What the Jim Rash Oscar? Because he's in like Reno 911, best adapted screenplay for The Descendants. That's it.
Good for him. Congratulations.
I don't even know what The Descendants is. Something.
Fucking obviously.
Yeah. I gotta look it up now. I gotta find out what The Descendants is. Oh, that's right. It's fucking George Clooney on an island or some shit.
Fair enough.
It could be okay. I just haven't seen it. George Clooney's in that category of actor to me where if he's not being in a fucking, like weird movie like a Coen Brothers film or something, by and large, all I see him as is George Clooney. It's a bit like Brad Pitt. Like Brad Pitt, when he's actually awake and giving a shit, is a great fun actor and can really sort of like lose himself in a role. But if he's just doing like, if it's like his Brad Pitt in a Brad Pitt movie, it's like, I don't care.
What about Brad Schmidt?
All right, so I have started. We're updating. I have started actually getting some of the audios up, so I'll have a few more of those. I'll be getting more of those done. I'm kind of going a little more slowly with them and trying to get like the quality of the audio to be a lot better. So, like, instead of like trying to read them all at once, like I normally do, like I would if I were like a regular human being, I'm doing that thing where I just read a sentence and then I stop to take my breaths. And so hopefully that'll like come together and it'll all, it'll look and sound nice. Because, these are the ones people are actually paying for. So I got to actually give a shit. Which is such an effort for me. But yeah, so there's a few done and there'll be more up there. So you'll be validated. And Aaron's getting a few other things like, is there cards or something? Oh, we're getting something on that regard done. I can't remember.
What?
I don't know. All right, you've been updated. Get the fuck out of my life.
Keep going. I'm photoshopping. Really done.
Okay.
Give them a little insight into how it's come together.
Oh, I don't know, man. It's just my brain. I sit down and I go, all right, I'm gonna fucking.
You misunderstood what I said. I said we're giving them a bit of an insight. So like the seeing the Photoshop and shit.
Oh, right.
Talk about whatever the fuck you want.
I'm sure for a while there were at least some of our fucking, viewers who just thought we like made these using cardboard cutouts and stuff. We had these big, we'd print out big video game pictures and we'd cut out the faces and then we'd put my face in the background and shit. In the modern world, we use computers.
You look like a diving man, Master Salami.
Yeah, wow, he does fuck. That is the face of a well-fucked woman. I mean, like, I think she just had a bunch of kids, so she's probably like all zonked out on the fucking kid hormones and whatnot. Which is what you want, because like, although I suppose they're not humans, so they probably birth a little better than people do. Because boy, humans don't birth well. We are not good at it. Which is hilarious. A fact made fucking apparent to me by the time I saw like a baby horse get born, and like my brother was like 8 months old. And like, you're there looking at this fucking horse just get shit out in front of you. Like, and it, that's just what happens. Like, it's like, fuck. And it, within like fucking, like it's already a horse. Like it's born with like a fucking, social security number and shit. It's like plop and it gets up and it's like a bit shaky and shit. But then it's running around, and within like a day, you've got basically a whole fucking horse. And then I look at my brother. And, it's just like someone drew like a crude face on a fucking bean and he's sitting there and he's just gurgling and like, you got to make sure he doesn't choke to death on his own spit and shit. And it's like, wow, man, like fucking, that really is the fucking hard difference with us. It's like, oh yeah, there's monkeys and stuff, like even monkeys, like, cause it happened after we started standing upright, like the pelvis shifted. And so if we kept humans in the oven for like the length that they really should have been, there just would have been no getting them out. And so like we started shitting them out earlier, and they wound up Neotinus, and then that gave him a bigger brain, and then that turned out to be pretty useful. That was a good get by the end of it, actually. Because then we could. Well, I mean, we learned how to throw shit at shit, which was such a big thing. Like, because nothing else. I was doing it the other day. Like, I had like these little bits of fucking paper from like a bit of packaging that I was fiddling with just in my armchair. And when I'm deep in that armchair, I don't want to do anything. So I'm just scrunching this up into balls, and I'm throwing the balls at the cat. And she registers that stuff's hitting her, but she doesn't process that the stuff that I'm projecting it. Like there's just her little brain doesn't understand that, and that's just hilarious to me. Like it's just they can't understand throw, and it's like you don't see much shit throwing shit. Like I think birds probably could, but they can fly, so like they don't really have to. But then primates do. Like, I've seen fucking gorillas understand throwing shit at you and stuff like that, but like. No one else really does it. And it really was just throwing something that like fucking, that cracked it all open for humans, Before that, like you had to get a sharp thing and like run at like the fucking monster you were trying to eat. And like, have you seen a moose?
Yeah, they're fucked.
Like, so you'd be like, well, okay, I could go after the moose or I could get like some shitty little thing. And it's like, then, you got a shitty little meal though. Like I want moose meat for dinner, And then fucking one day, fucking thug or whatever is like, oh yeah, check this shit out, and has the fucking spear and just lets it go. Goes to state, just lets it fucking go. And at first, you'd look at that and think, thug can't fucking spear because he's just let it go. What the fuck are you going to do with that? You got to hold on to it. But then the fucking thing just flies and like sticks into the goddamn moose and just fucking stays in it. And like the moose is still running around, but I could just follow the fucking thing, we'll just chase after it. And you don't even have to really burn that much fucking energy because it's already got half a fucking sharpened rock on its side. So just wait till it gets tired and just beat it to death with a bit of rock. And then we have a whole moose, and all we really had to do was sneak up on this fucking thing. And like that happened probably like, fucking 30 or 40,000 years ago. Actually, no, probably more than that, probably 100,000 years ago. And like since then, it's just been fucking a fairly solid upward trajectory, Now we put like fucking
killing, and look where we are now.
Yeah, man, we put like we put like a fucking bit of gunpowder at one end of the fucking rock, and now we got guns. It's like, yeah, that's fucking rad. And then fucking, we got some rocks that are like kind of weird and you shouldn't really get in there. And it's like, oh yeah, that's fucking atomic weapons. Everything's just chucked rocks, really, when you break it down. Like, I mean, most rocks are a bit like when you get the flint out of a fucking lighter and you heat it up and then you throw it.
It's so stupid. I'm happy with it. It's not even. I just fucking.
Why is Wario and Masupalami? That's the part that I'm trying to get around.
That's just from the other picture. I haven't changed it off yet. Just the fact that I just changed the fucking color setting from normal to just straight yellow.
That's me realizing I now have 3 kids. Fuck, I got 3 kids. That's exactly what would happen if I could turn my penis into various household items. Just be like, well, got 3 kids.
Where's the fucking...
I'd be okay with that these days. I'd just be like, yeah, I'll look after them. You go out and earn. You go be one of those girl bosses or whatever I've read about. Just give me like, I can feed kids. It's like a glorified fucking cat. And I mean, if you, the real hiccup's just getting them to about 4 or 5. Before that, there's like the chance that they'll just eat a fork or something like that. Like after, when you get them past the fucking sudden infant death syndrome and the fork eating period, after that, then you just got to make sure you don't fucking drop it on its head. And so it's fine. It pretty much looks after itself.
Oh.
No. All you have to do is just, bully it every now and again. And if it misbehaves, you just push it over and sit on it. And that's basically parenting. You just sit on your kids.
I was beaten burlap sack.
When I was
placed in a burlap sack.
And beaten. Pretty standard, really. I fucking love that monologue. I really do. It's just so good.
I just love that movie, dude.
Claims so like he invented the question mark. Just as like as a single piece of humor. It's like there's a moment in the third one, which isn't a great film, but it's still one of my favorite jokes. Just because you can see it from a mile away. And it's this thing about comedy where like the important part is the surprise. But once you understand that, you can start to hide the surprise in weird places. So if you get an old joke where everyone knows where their surprise is, if you put the surprise somewhere else, suddenly the old surprise is a new surprise and you've created a whole new joke. And like, they did that when they're releasing the meteor with the fucking giant model. And it's like, it's going to hit him in the fucking balls. Like it's the obvious fucking joke. But the joke isn't that it hits him in the balls. The joke is that it stays with him as he feebly grasps around and grunts like a man who's just been legitimately hit in the balls. And it goes on for ages. And that's what the surprise is that the bit goes on for fucking ages. And it's a tricky fucking joke to get. And a lot of things do it without actually giving a shit about whether or not, they were going to really actually get it done. So a lot of the time it just fucking sucks. Like Family Guy will do it all the time. But that's just because they're desperate to fill like fucking their 20 minutes. This one actually just really solidly worked. Because Mike Myers can really sell getting hit in the testicles.
He's, well, a lot of people have hit him in the balls, just had practice.
Imagine having to work with like Chris Farley. I feel like he'd be a guy that just hits balls, Yeah. Like, and you couldn't get angry at him because for starters, he looks like a giant puppy dog. And B, he'd be too coked up to remember anything you said to him anyway. But like a good hit to the testicles. Although, like, even then, fucking one thing that like what was it? Dodgeball really kind of brought home was how you can get a lot of good laughs from non-testicle hits. Because your first thought's, oh yeah, testicles. But like seeing Justin Long just getting hit by a wrench in the face is really, really fucking funny. Now, some of it's because it's, it's just fun watching Justin Long get whacked by shit. Or to just in general see him have bad things happen to him. It's just generally very fucking funny.
He's got a very whackable face.
Yeah, it is just something about his face. Like he's got this childlike innocence in the body of an adult, which means it's okay to make him suffer because he deserves to be punished. Like you don't get to be an adult and look like the world is still a fun place full of wonder and make-believe because it means you've missed an important amount of trauma. Like you've missed the things that turn you into an adult. And that's not fair. That's a problem we need to address. So, when you have someone like Justin Long, it's like, oh yeah, look at that poor innocent cherub. And it's like, oh, he's 30? Oh, I fucking hit him in the face with a wrench. No, fuck that, man. This is bullshit. He doesn't have a syndrome or anything. No? All right. Fuck it. No. Not allowed to look like that.
He literally has to look like Justin Long.
Justin Long syndrome.
Speaking of Long, we'll see you next time. We love you.
Long-drome.
Keep It Classy is proudly sponsored completely by its fans. We thank you for your support.
It expanded somehow. I'll have you know.